Guys, welcome back to another Aether Raids Defense Showcase. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since the last time I did one of these, mainly because I was kind of getting bored doing these every single week in, week out. I don't think that's the way these type of videos should be made. I think what you should do is do them once in a while and then just catch up on any of the relevant meta changes that have gone on. So this is how we did this season. Took a minus 50. We only had one defensive loss, which is fine. And then we ended up right there, rank 157, which is probably going to drop a little, considering we still have 7 hours to go. And 21,438 lift. So what is going on in the world of defense teams in Fire Emblem Heroes? Let's find out. So this is what I ended up running this season. We have Duo Rhea here, who has... I've gotten the craziest resurgence ever for a number of reasons. First of all, her giving herself the miracle effect in tandem with having Hardy Bearing as a seal allows her to negate units that are pesky and will try to desperation you, like Baby Camilla, for example. And with that miracle effect, she can survive their first attack no matter what, and then clap back and finish with her counterattack, which is going to work against a lot of really meta-level units, to be honest. However, there is, of course, a weakness. If units are running Fatal Smoke, they would be able to body Rhea. It just so happens that no one's really running Fatal Smoke on Baby Camilla, not because it's not good, but because they can't even get the fodder for it. So it's more so a playing of the theme here that no one's really playing Fae to the maximum potential of the game. We're all just playing based on whatever we got, which is very true for me at the moment, because I'm missing a lot of meta units. I'm missing, like, Jesus Christ, how many units can I even count right now that I don't have that are, like, top tier, or some of the best units in the game? It's pretty crazy because of my refusal to get the Fae Pass. I have missed out on a lot of units. But anyway, we have Rhea here serving as one of our units, and she's going to be getting magic save from Ectordeer over there. So she's going to be our magic save, and then he's going to be our physical save. Now, most people tend to run Rhea as the physical save, or at least just the near save, and then they'll run some other unit as the far save. But what I've gone ahead and done here is just run Rhea there, mainly to provide Ectordeer the drive support. And right now, drive support, low-key, is better than start-a-turn bonus support. Like, any units that are giving you bonuses that are going to show up on your active bonus list is essentially just giving more fuel to the fire of Baby Camilla and letting her hit harder. So it's actually better right now to just be running drive buffs. And that's one of the other key things that this Rhea does. She gives drive buffs. She doesn't actually give any start of turn bonuses that are going to appear on the bonus list, which right now, that's really good. Okay, we also have Mommy Loki over here, who is able to turn off bonuses, again playing up to the theme of the active bonus list is stupid. I think I was having a conversation with Oblivion not too long ago, and I mentioned this to him where I said, having 3 passive skills on a unit is so deceptive right now. Like, you see the A slot, the B slot, the C slot. That is so untrue, because you just load up into a fight and then you check the active bonus list and the unit's got like 10 or 12 active bonuses in there. Each one of those is essentially another passive. So we're starting fights now where units essentially have 20 plus passives active, and you gotta, like, each one of those active bonuses in the bonus list is at least 2 or 3 sentences long that you gotta read. So this game has gotten way out of control, and for whatever reason, they refuse to give us more units like Loki and Duo Thor that can turn off all of the active bonuses. Instead, we get a unit like Duo Freya who can only turn off 2 at a time. Your guess is as good as mine as to why that's the case. I don't know why they don't want to double back on the active bonus meta, because this has got to be like one of the most annoying metas we've ever had. Alright, we got King Freyr here. Obviously, he just turns off anything. So, yeah, he's always going to be on these defenses. We got Baldur over here, the Mythic Baldur, mainly just because when somebody gets hit, she'll just break the safety fence, so our units are going to start moving in. So it just makes it a little bit more complicated for the enemies if they're trying to hit and run, or if they're trying to do whatever they're trying to do. Just losing their safety fence makes them have to think twice. All right, then we have this Balder over here. This is the Brave Balder, and she is my damage dealer of choice. She can essentially reach basically every space that anybody else is. So if you're going to try to bait anyone on this team, you're going to have to take a hit from Balder. And luckily for us, not too many units are going to be able to do that. So she's a pretty good damage dealer in combat unit. And then we have, of course, Duo Marth, who is best friends with Yggdrasil over there, giving him, what is it, Null Panic, and then Fire Emblem, and then also this guy combining that with Fringe bonus is a really sick combo. So yeah, there you guys go. That is the breakdown for the defense. This works out pretty well in Light Season, at least. In Anima Season, running Loki, even though she's so good you would actually want to, it would be really hard to protect her because of Elm. So Elm is a definite threat. And one thing you also have to keep in mind is slot 8 on defense, I think, is kind of useless for that same reason. It's really hard to protect. So what I've been doing is I just deploy the calling circle, and I don't even put a unit in that bonus slot. So I have more units that I can protect with my saves. The only unit here not being protected by magic save is Balder, which is whatever. And everyone's protected by physical save there. So if I were to run my slot 8 unit anywhere I put them, it would be impossible for them to be protected by both magic and physical save. So instead of doing that, just put nobody in the calling circle and make people think that there's somebody there. And a lot of people fell for that. A lot of people waited for turn 3 to start so they could potentially kill a unit that would spawn in and then let my units start moving in on their own without having to attack. And that just didn't work out for them. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these defense replays now. And our only loss came right at the end, so that is good to know. We can just go through all of these and pretty much just coast. All right, so our first defense replay. Let me just make sure animations are turned off here, because we definitely don't want to sit through all of this. So this guy's running the Mythic Lin over here, Uma Lin from Shadows, who gives everyone range. How broken is that, man? Like, just giving a unit like Baby Camilla range. As if that unit isn't disgusting enough. Alright, then we got Duo Plumeria. We got the Tea Time Ingrid, who I do not have. Speaking of which, I don't have this Plumeria either. So, it's throwing that out there. Okay, we have Air. We have also Gladiator Crom, who I, again, do not have. And then we have Summer Celica. So, yeah, this... My little Fey Pass drought has not really been doing us much favors over here. Over here, on this first replay, I actually goofed. I forgot that Loki was going to spawn in with more res than Rhea. So Loki was the one who was getting magic save on this first one. But I fixed that afterwards. Unfortunately for this guy, he wasn't really able to make good on that. Which is kind of weird. Like, you would think he'd be perfectly fine after turn 1 if he's able to just get a KO like that. But somehow it didn't work out for him. Okay, so he swaps in with Ingrid, gets reflex on Uma Lin there. Swaps in with Crom, gets some more bonuses. AoE on the Celica there. Wow, that's incredible. Clap Balder for 0 times 2. Wow. Yeah, that Summer Celica is really not it. Yes, she can hit from 3 spaces away, which is really good, but nowadays we have a better unit that can do that, which is the Brave Byleth, who I also don't have. I mean, that guy, he's been really good on defenses, more so in Anima Season, I would say, than Light Season. But, yeah, that Brave Byleth is really good. He's just essentially Summer Celica if she was a good unit. Alright, so unfortunate for him. Alright, next up we have Synergy over here. So this guy's got Milla, Asker, Emblem Corrin, who I still don't have as well. I'm telling you right now, if I had this Emblem Corrin, I'd be giving her ring to Rhea, so we could just set up the tiles right in the front. It's so crazy what this ring gives you. It's like ice tiles, warp bubble, and Kanto control. It's the most annoying thing for setting enemies back. Even though Camilla can turn off a majority of those terrains, it's just like, having that much terrain on a ring is really crazy. So, yeah, Corrin is pretty interesting. As a unit, she's not too bad either. Like, I've surprisingly found her able to tank Baby Camilla in some situations, but honestly, she feels like another Celica situation where her ring is like 10 times better than she is as a unit. Alright, then we got Emblem Erica, we got Brave Sharena, and then Peony. Yeah, this guy's not even running Sacred Seals on most of his units here, so it's going to be one of those replays. Yeah, just, I guess he wasn't able to get Erica out of the way. He must have forgot to give her the Sigurd ring there. Alright, we got Adaku up next. So this guy's running Hresvelger. Alright, there's Brave Male Byleth. We got Duo Plumeria, we got T. Ingrid, we got Uma Lin, and then we've got Rune. By the way, a majority of these offense replays, you'll notice how many of the units we're fighting are just like units that have released in the past 2 months, pretty much. This game, it's really annoying talking about this game when a caveman could do it. It doesn't take a genius to describe the Fey meta. It's literally just, has the unit came out within the past 2 months? Well, they're meta. And not only are they meta, they're probably like a top 10 or top 20 unit in the game. So, like, that's another reason I haven't wanted to really do a tier list. I feel like any input I might have to give doesn't really hold much weight when even a caveman could come up with a tier list for this game. Okay, we got Erica there. We got Emblem Lin. Not Emblem Lin, Uma Lin. Then we got Ash. Got Emblem Sigurd. Pretty interesting unit to give the range support to with Lin. Then we got Felix and Brave Sharena. Okay. So obviously a more offensive-oriented team here. I wonder if Uma Lin's bonus, the range bonus, actually turns off Erica's range bonus and they cancel each other out. That happens with a couple of units where, like, for example, Brave Balder, if you give her the Lin ring, they just both cancel out because she has her own style. I'm not sure if that works on Erica, too, but I haven't actually ran them on the same team to figure that out. Alright, he got nothing out of his Bolt Tower, unfortunately, there. Only hit Rhea. Or only hit Loki. And then Sharena just whiffs against Rhea. So our units are going to start moving in now. Alright, also, by the way, I have the Micaiah ring on King Freyr there. He's not really an offensive unit. He could be if I gave him some better passives, but again, I think I said this earlier in the video. No one playing Fey is playing Fey to the maximum capacity that you could. It's not like Pokemon Showdown where you can just build whatever you want and play. When it comes to Fey, it's like we're just relying on whatever we have. Not so much what's best or what would actually be like super high tier competitive. It's just whatever we got. Whatever we can summon, that's what we have to use. Alright, Sigurd's going off here. Even though we already got our KO here. Surprised to see him still going for it, though. I guess respect? Or should we even give this respect? Alright, there's Brave Sharena putting in some work. And then Brave Gulveig there, too. Gulveig's a pretty nice one with her refine. Alright, we're definitely getting some more KOs, though. Yeah, there's one against Sigurd, and then, oh, if only Marth hadn't Kantoed back there, we would have gotten one with Ectordeer, too. Alright, I think he's just going to go for the win at this point. Yeah. It's nice to see Gulveig just one-shot Ectordeer, though. Okay, so here's another one. So this time around, we've got Peony, we got Hresvelger, we've got Air. Then we got the new Ryoma there, too. The attuned Ryoma. Interesting. Yeah, another unit I don't have. Alright, then we got the Baby Camilla. And then we got Brave Balder. Okay, so Brave Balder can be a nice wall breaker. So she could potentially beat one of our save units here. Alright, let's see what this guy is going to go for, though. So very slow start, just breaking some structures, getting some more room to maneuver there. Okay. Alright, we don't have the Korin ring, unfortunately, so Baby Camilla has full reign to terrorize us. Alright, he does have the Korin ring. So, here's an instance where I think this guy waited for turn 3 to beat up whoever spawned in, but nobody actually spawned in. So, now he has to do this the hard way and actually try to break through one of our tanks. But I've done a lot of testing against my own defense, obviously, and it's not easy for Baby Camilla to beat Ectordeer on this setup. So, if that's who his main wall breaker is going to be, he's going to have a really rough time here. There are, of course, units that can beat Ectordeer. I'm not trying to say he's foolproof, but at the very least, Baby Camilla has a hard time of it. So, as long as that's the case, I think I'll feel pretty good about this, considering she's like the most threatening offensive unit. Alright, King Freyr gets a sneaky attack off, but can't make good on it. If I had momentum and an AoE on him, I think he'd be a lot better. But for whatever reason, there's only one unit ever who has had momentum. Alright, here's another one. So, this guy, we have Mythic Air, we got Uma Lin, we got T... Oh, wow, we've seen T Ingrid on a lot of these, haven't we? I don't think she's a bonus right now either. I think people are just running her mainly for the reflex support. Alright, then we got Duomarth, Gladiator Crom, and Ash. Okay. Yeah, once you got reflex support from Ingrid and then the other support from this Crom over here, I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Let's see here. His special support. Change of Fate, that's the one. Yeah, when you have that and reflex, you're going to be doing a lot of offensive work. Oh, uh-oh, this guy made a big mistake there. He tried to bait with Marth in the lanes that are occupied by Loki, so he just lost all his bonuses. If you're going to try to bait against this team, don't bait from any of the 3 lanes where Loki is turning off bonuses. You want to try to bait from here, like the far left-hand corner where Loki can't reach. Yeah, so this guy, he was just goofing, pretty much. Caught him off guard there. Probably going to surrender now. Yep. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So, here's another one. Okay, so we got here Duo Plumeria. We got Baby Camilla. We got the Desert Marissa. Okay. Giving Brave support, potentially to... Let's see here. Who is he giving Brave support to? Desert Ike. Okay, well, Desert Ike is not on this team, so it would default to the highest HP unit, which he has a 3-way tie. He's got Plumeria, Camilla, and Lynn all with the most HP. He's got 2 of them. He's got 2 Duo Plumerias. Wow. What is this guy doing? Then we have Rune. He's only got 2 Mythic Heroes as well. Wow. So he's getting double drive exposure. He's getting potentially quad dancing with re-upping of Kanto. And this guy still lost with all of this. That's kind of embarrassing. If I was using a team like this and I lost, I'd feel pretty bad, honestly. Alright, so he waited for... another guy who I think waited for turn 3 for someone to spawn in on my calling circle. But nobody spawned in. Yeah, then he just fell for all the traps too. Yeah, that's no bueno. Yeah, that is not happening, bro. Alright, here's another one. Yeah, you can tell by a lot of these that people just gave up because they couldn't kill a unit. Because when you see a win with no KO, that's probably what happened here. So, T Ingrid, we've got Bride Embla. I don't really see much of a reason to run Bride Embla. We've seen less and less King Freyr, though. Freyr has been falling off a lot of defenses just from the onset of people thinking he's going to be there. So they're not going to run Embla. But when he's actually there, Embla just does nothing. Alright, then we got Dagger, we got Goto, Uma Lin, and then Emblem Sigurd. Alright, so yeah, the Sigurd and Lin combo, pretty good. Giving Sigurd range, and then his range works with the AoE. He's like... Well, I was going to say he's like the only unit with a ranged AoE, but pretty much all of the melee units can do that. What were they cooking with that Umalin, man? Let's just make everybody range units. Good lord. How much longer until we're giving people 3 range? Like, when's the next beast unit from Shadows coming out that's going to give range units 3 range of attack? That's going to be real fair. Okay, so he's just breaking all the structures. It seems like he is not able to do anything. He can't kill any of my units here. Like I said, we are pretty foolproof against Baby Camilla. So if that's his offensive option, then he's not going to be able to beat Hector Deer over here. Getting all the supports. He's got Reflex. He's got the ranged attack from Umalin. Unfortunately, he can't get feud off with Rhea, or feud off with Embla, which would be real helpful. But, yeah, we would really appreciate someone with mid-turn Miracle Denial. I don't think we have any units that do that. All the units that turn off Miracle on the enemy's team do it at the start of turn, so King Freyr can remove it. But it would go pretty hard if you could just do that mid-turn. That would be a really good one. Yeah, just fails to KO anybody. Alright, so we got 2 more to go. Let's go ahead and knock these out. So, okay, we got Emblem Lyn there with Thief Layla. I keep calling her Thief Layla. This is... What was she even again? She was Rearmed Layla, right? There is actually a Thief Layla from that one and only Thief banner we ever got. But technically, every Layla is a thief. So... yeah, Rearmed Layla. Then we got Rune Peony. Oh, this Hinoka, the one with air superiority. That passive. And then we have Emblem America there as well. Yeah, another unit I don't have, by the way. And he just gave... yeah, I can't blame him for giving up, because the only unit Lyn can hit here is actually nobody, right? Yeah, she can't hit anybody, because Hector Deer is protecting the whole team. So yeah, so much for that one. And then finally, this is the one person we fought all season that actually had a working brain. So, Emblem Corrin. We got Peony. We got... oh, wow. Okay. Okay, plus 10 of the new Freya already. So we're fighting a whale here. So I guess my loss is excused. We got Comet there with the Lyn Ring. Attack Speed Aria, Pulse on Blades. I believe that's her base kit. Now, this unit's pretty interesting, honestly. I just wish her duo button turned off all bonuses. That's really the one change I would make to her. Considering it's not a reusable duo skill, I could understand if they let you use it every other turn or every 3rd turn. But only one and done, and it only turns off 2 active bonuses. Look at this. Look how many bonuses these units have. They have, like, upwards of 6 to 10 on any given team. This unit here has got like 8 already. Alright, we got also the Gladiator Crom. We got Freya, regular Freya, and then Brave Alphonse. Okay. Don't really see him too often. Okay, so Freya just bodies Rhea, apparently. Yeah, I mean, this Freya is a very, very cold-hearted unit, right? Alright, then he sets up his tiles, so our units are going to be a little disadvantaged here. I'm kind of surprised Brave Balder couldn't just beat Corrin like that. Now, this Corrin is a decent tank, but her defense is really bad. And then she also has color disadvantage on Balder, which is what Balder wants to get all her effects off. So the fact that Corrin was able to tank Balder there is pretty surprising, honestly. Not even plus 10 either. We can't even pull the whale excuse there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe I've been underestimating that Corrin's tanking ability. Alright, and then Freya is just going to demolish us at this point. Yeah, if Rhea wasn't able to beat that Freya, then we're in big trouble. I'll be honest, though, this Freya came out mid-season, so like my defense wasn't even built with that Freya in mind. Not that I would have built to counter her or anything, but like... if Rhea as the magic save is getting clobbered, may have to go back to the drawing board on this one. Yeah, and there's not really much else we're going to be able to do here. Like I said, Freya is just going to lay waste to everybody now. Not much we'll be able to do. Even Brave Alphonse sneaks in there and gets some KO action. I wonder how much the great talent played up to, like, this guy's ability to win this fight. Probably not much. He would have only gotten, like, 1 or 2 stat points out of that before he started taking hits here. And, of course, Freya just demolishes the whole team. So, there you guys go. That is a little bit of a showcase here of what's going on, at least for me, in terms of defense. Now, next season, we're going to have Anima Astra season, and over there, I wouldn't want to run something like this, mainly well, first of all, Loki, you don't really want to run her in Anima season. Like I said, Elm is just going to mess with her too much. And like defenses like this, the balled up save unit defenses don't really work quite as well in Anima season with Elm being a threat. So what I've been seeing a lot of in that season is people running like Brave Male Byleth to cover a lot of ground and just try to punish hit and run strats as much as possible. Let me see if anyone on the friends list has a defense that we can kind of give an example of before we get out of here. Let's see here. Okay, so Joel, let's see. Joel's at rank 1. Yeah, so something similar to this is what you would expect to see. So he's got Duo Hathorn there. He's got Brave Byleth with Miracle. Interesting. Yeah, but the main takeaway with this guy is that he covers so much ground. Him with +1 movement from anywhere, either Sigurd Ring or someone's giving him Rain Snap or whatever. And then he just covers the entire bottom of the map. All right, then we got Balder, Hector, of course. Oh, interesting. Hardy Bearing, Shield Fighter, Pavis, Hector. I guess that's his answer to Baby Camilla. Then he's got a Baby Camilla of his own there. Miracle Baby Camilla. Pretty good. Yeah, I guess that's another way you could beat Rhea with Baby Camilla is just run Miracle on her. Yeah, because Hathorun's going to cooldown pulse this whole team. And then Camilla is going to just pre-charge Miracle with her Quicken Pulse. I see you, Joel. All right, what is Niter up to? Let's take a look at this one. Okay, this Starja has been pretty common as well. Seen her quite a bit. Surprisingly, a very tanky unit. I've had a couple of instances where, like, even a unit like Valentine Edelgard has been unable to even do 1 point of damage to this Starja. So, yeah, I would attribute a lot of that to her giving the Anathema support. I don't think Anathema lowers attack, though, does it? I think it's speed, defense, and res, right? Something like that. But regardless, this Starja is a surprisingly bulky unit. All right, then we got Marth, we got Camilla, Balder, of course, break their safety fence, and then Rhea for drive support. Yeah, different take on Rhea here. Shield Fighter Rhea with Pavis and Hardy Bearing. Just make sure she lives as opposed to anything else. And then, of course, Burger King over there. I want to see one that's taken advantage of the reach, though, of Byleth. Doesn't look like we're going to get lucky enough to see that. Yeah, like I said, I'm missing a lot of units, so it's hard for me to be able to showcase like what optimal setups would be right now. But I can tell you just, yeah, like something like this, although he's like kind of barricading his own Byleth from taking advantage of the reach. A little bit odd. Again, though, Shield Fighter Rhea. Like I said, this is one of the most common save units at the moment for a number of reasons. Actually, a good build on King Freyr. I wish I had this stuff. Momentum, Excel. I don't know if I'd run Sturdy Beast, though. I'd probably give him an AoE if I had Momentum on him. But yeah, he could get some sneaky KOs if he's got the Micaiah ring, so he's pretty cool. And then Marth, Camilla. Yeah, so just a couple of examples of what people are doing right now for defense. I already showed off what I'm doing, but obviously if I had better options, I could make this a lot better. So, yeah, let me know how you guys did this season for Aether Raid's defense. I don't know if I'll do one of these next season. Probably wait a couple of seasons, let some more things boil over in the meta, and then talk about it again. So, that's all for this one, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed it. and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.